Um, well, first of all, when I was 5, I turned 5 in January 9th of 96. And I started to become really sick. I was just sick over and over and over again. Like, I would go sick, then I would, like, literally, I would just have a time where I would just get sick and throw up, then I'd be all fine, you know? And then I kept on going to one doctor, and that one doctor kept on saying it was something to do with my head. He didn't know what it was. He wasn't gonna give me an MRI. He didn't ever suggest giving me an MRI. But then my mom was like, "All right, we've been to you like what 4 or 5 times now. Now we're gonna go to Stony Point." So we went to Stony Point, saw a doctor there, and he did all like the little vital things and stuff like that with me. And then all of a sudden he was like, "We're gonna get him an MRI, and it's gonna happen like I think he said like it was like within a few like the day, you know." And like when I got the MRI, it showed up that there was actually a brain tumor the size of an orange in my head, and it actually had my brain pretty much squished against the right side of my skull. And it was my dad was definitely devastated. I think my mom handled it better. But while I was still sedated during the MRI, they pretty much took my mom. Had the choice of either bringing me out, then putting me back to sleep and having the surgery. They immediately gave me the surgery. My mom was like, "Let's have the surgery right now." So we immediately had the surgery, and by Dr. John Ward, who still checks up on me today. Great guy. And he pretty much took it out. While I was still waking up, I believe he pretty much, to make it a long story short, he told my mom that during the MRI, the tumor somehow shifted, and it took out, I believe, my right arm. And then while he was during the operation, because it was 1996 and we didn't have the technology that we do have today, there are 3 main nerves that run back through your head, and he actually ended up kind of like clipping one a little bit, and then it took out my right leg. Which, then when he came out, my mom's a dietitian at MCV where I had the operation at. She's known Dr. Ward forever, and her exact words were, "I'd rather have a kid with a disabled right arm and right leg than a dead child," you know, and that's pretty much how she put it. And I couldn't have said it better myself. So when I woke up, I couldn't move my right side at all. And my left side was perfectly fine. I had a little helmet thing on my head because I had staples in my head. And then my mom, later on, as it went on, I would have to say I went through both physical therapy and occupational therapy. I actually, because I was in that development stage, because you still develop your brain up till you're like about 8 years old, as like psychologists say and whatnot. And then so I was actually able to use some of my right brain to control my right side. So I got limited movement back. So as of today, the further it goes down on my extremities, on my right side, the less use I have out of them. So my fingers and my toes are pretty much like unable to use, but I can move them. I can move my fingers a little bit, toes pretty much not at all, unless you take up the bottom of my foot type thing. And but when I was little, the only way my mom could really explain it to me, I'm trying to think. how did she explain it to me? I just remember, what I do remember is that when I came out of my surgery, I always thought it was the MRI that did everything to me, and I was stuck on that because I was stubborn. I had my grandpa's genes, and I was stubborn. I was stuck on that, and because all I remember is going to an MRI. I don't remember going through a surgery, because I was still sedated. So I come out of the MRI supposedly. That's what I was thinking, and I woke up paralyzed, and I was like, I'm never going to MRI again, you know. And then my mom, over the years, she pretty much like came back and back and back. And then she finally whipped out the MRI, because she had a copy of the MRI from the Dr. Ward. And she took him out, put him on the table, held him up to the light and stuff, and pretty much showed me, like, the brain tumor actually, like, shoving my brain to the right side, which was, I didn't quite grasp it at first, but then as I kept on growing up, like, I guess she kept on talking to me about it a little bit, and then I finally got it. Like the fact that I went through physical therapy, occupational therapy, and whatnot. I was thankful that I was walking. I was back to playing soccer and stuff like that. But I think I can't remember how exactly it was that my mom explained it to me, but I think she was just like pretty dry about it, and just brought out the pictures and kind of eased the pictures into me, but definitely let me know what happened. She was like, she pretty much described my brain tumor as an orange, and said you pretty much had a big boo-boo in your head. All right, I remember it now. Okay, starting over. My mom pretty much told me that when I came out of the operation, I had a big boo-boo in my head. And the doctor, Dr. Ward, she said he was a very nice guy, and he removed the boo-boo for you. But it took going into your head to do that, because it was actually affecting your brain. And then, so she, in order to compare it to anything, I was just a little kid learning apples and oranges, like learning my my ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. So she was like, it was about the size of an orange. And he took the boo-boo out, and he had to take away some good brain, and it ended up actually taking away some of your memory, or not memory, but some of your physical abilities on your right side. So he took the orange out of my head, and then took away some good brain, and then he ended up affecting my right side a little bit, and I was pretty fine with it, you know, because I was still learning everything. Although I did not like I liked the occupational therapist, but I did not like the physical therapist. I actually called them pistols when I was little, because I thought they were harmful, and because they would make me work so hard. But then in occupational therapy, I was baking cookies a lot, and I loved it. So I was doing a lot of different things that way, and it actually led my sister into what she is getting her doctorates in right now, which is physical therapy. She saw how they helped me get back to where I am today, and ever since I was 5 at the time, so she was 10. Ever since she was 10, she's that type A person, and she's been stuck on it, and she's been like, I want to do physical therapy, you know? So, like, everything happens for a reason, and I was glad that happened.